Hello friends, I am Anupam Sharma and today we are doing New Economic Policy 1991 LPG Part 2 Privatization and Globalization. Need for privatization, meaning of privatization, Navratnas, globalization, meaning policies adopted to promote globalization, outsourcing, WTO, critical appraisal of policy. All these points we are going to discuss. Let's start. So privatization was done. What is the meaning of privatization? When government sells its PSUs or companies to private people. Simple. Then it is done in two ways. Either government sells its company to private people, one way, or to sell its shares above 51% to private people. So private capital and managerial capabilities will improve performance of PSUs, it was expected. It will also encourage FDI, means foreign direct investment. It will improve production and managerial efficiency. But there were some companies called Navratna 9 companies which were doing very well, like Hindustan Petroleum, ONGC, etc. So they were called Navratna, later they were called Maharatnas, and 75 companies were included that were called Mini Ratnas, so that they could perform well, improve their efficiency and profitability. Need for privatization, mounting losses. PSUs were incurring mounting losses or incurring huge losses, and losses were mounting, and there was inefficiency and corruption. There was license raj and unnecessary delays. That is why privatization was done. Now we'll talk about globalization. Globalization means integrating economy of a country with economies of rest of the world. Means free trade among different countries, like a free trade with other countries of the world. Policies that aim greater interdependence and integration. Countries depend on each other for export and import. So what will happen in flow of goods and services and technology capital? So, flow of goods and services among countries, technology will also come to country or go to other countries, and capital will also be transferred from one country to another country. Increase in equity limit of foreign investment. Now, foreign countries can invest any amount. Their equity can be below 49% or 50% or above, or it can be from 51 to 100% also, so that they get managerial capabilities to increase production. Partial convertibility refers to sale and purchase of foreign currency at market price. So people could now uh, get foreign currency by purchasing it or by selling it, and they can export and import goods and services. Long term trade policy, at least for 5 years. All controls on foreign trade removed, that is tariffs from imports and exports were removed, and also non-tariff barriers. Non-tariff barriers means quotas which were imposed on imports were removed. So import quota was removed from Indian products to the rest of the world. Now comes outsourcing and WTO. What is outsourcing? Outsourcing means hiring services from the outside world like BPO or call centers. You must have heard about BPOs or call centers, and they provide service to the rest of the world, say for clinical advice, for teaching, for coaching and other services. It can happen in same country or with rest of the world. Now we are talking about globalization. So we are talking about outsourcing that is from rest of the world. For example, if a industry is set up in India by say America, and it is producing say computer, so core uh, things will be produced in that industry by the Americans only, but they'll hire services from Indians. For example, they need CA, they need lawyer, they need security services. All these could be hired from India. This is called outsourcing. Same way it can happen in if we set up our industry in other countries. So why they outsource from India? Because they get labor cheap. Labor is very cheap in India. They get skilled laborers and people are well qualified. For this reason, they outsource from India. Revolutionary growth of its industry, because our industry for especially IT industry is growing very fast. So this is called outsourcing. And then we will talk about WTO, World Trade Organization, formed in 1948 as get now called WTO, and was formed in 1955. Provides equal opportunity to all countries for trade. And second, rule based in trading where nation get equal opportunity. No arbitrary restrictions like trade or non-trade barriers. So no, as India adopted, no trade barriers means no tariff on imports or exports, and no quota barriers. It helps to facilitate bilateral or multilateral trade among people, among countries. An appraisal of LPG policies, merits, rapid growth, GDP growth. GDP growth increased by 8%, that is very comfortable. Growth of service sector, that is IT industry. It got global recognition. Fiscal deficit controlled. Fiscal deficit brought down from 8% to 3.5% of GDP. Foreign exchange reserves are now comfortable. Flow of FDI increased, foreign direct investment increased, emergence of competitive market. Now we have competitive market instead of monopoly. Like we have car market, we have TV market, computer. So there are variety of goods and services available in the market. Rate of inflation lowered, and for this reason rate of inflation is lowered. India emerging as economic power. These are some of the merits. Now demerits. Neglect of agriculture. Agriculture was neglected because main focus was on development of industry. So share of agriculture in GDP reduced to 2 to 3%. Concentration of growth in urban areas, because most of the industries were established in urban areas, big cities. Unequal distribution of wealth. Gap between rich and poor increased. Lopsided growth. Agriculture did not development as fast as industry, and industry did not or have not grown as fast as service sector. So children, if you liked my video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.